wholeheartedly welcome all of you to Earth Series Part 2 of Conservation Education. I welcome the participants from all across India. I am joined here by Founder and Chancellor Dr. Rupa Vasudevanji, Vice Chancellor Dr. D.L. Maheshwar, Senior Advisor and my friend Dr. Manmohan Singh Ji, former Special Chief Secretary Government of Andhra Pradesh, faculty, dear students of Best Innovation University. I also recognize the presence of our special guest from WWLC, a partner of World Forum for Education, and esteemed speakers here today. Dr. Ayla Al-Jufri from Indonesia, Ambassador Alice Kamunge from Kenya, Ambassador Debbie from South Africa, Makhole from Lesotho, Joy Wanjiru from Kenya, Dr. Yellappa Reddy ji, well-known environmentalist and senior ex-bureaucrat belonging to Indian Forest Service, Dr. K.K. Subramani, Bharatiya Engineering Science and Technology Innovation University, BESTIU, and World Forum for Education, with support partners from all over the world, have initiated a series of webinars on theme role of conservation education, and mainly centering around the earth. Now I would like to delve a little bit on the theme of today. Conservation education. We believe in conservation education as an important aspect of core learning systems through transdisciplinary integrated learning approach, through demonstrations, through research and documentation. When students apply this acquired knowledge and skills and values, they can actively take a leadership role for a range of real-life local conservation issues. These educational outcomes lead what we create on conservation. We create conservation crusaders of tomorrow. We would like to develop attitudes, behavior that support conservation, provide opportunities to develop the future generation of conservation leaders. The various themes under conservation education broadly are indigenous knowledge systems, which include fabric, handloom, art, music, agriculture, well-being, dance forms, and archaeology. In Earth theme can cover environment, climate change, energy, soil, and water. There is another theme which is important, is culinary, which covers the food cultures, understanding heritage cuisines, ancestral vessels and their significance. Today, we have come together to delve on most of these themes, and most important of this is Earth. This is second in the series. We all know how important the Mother Earth is for us, all of us. We only have one Mother Earth. It is our responsibility to conserve, preserve, and protect our Mother Earth and its environment before it is too late. Each one of us have to come together as crusaders to save our planet from environmental destruction, global warming, pollution of seas completely filled with plastics, biodiversity which is dying out, and species of animals are going extinct at an alarming rate. Therefore, it is important to share and ideate the thoughts. Thus, the Earth webinar are a series of professional consultative interactions on world's most pressing problems linked to environment, soil, energy conservation, water, and climate change. I hope we all are enlightened by the end of the seminar from today's webinar. With these words, now it's over to Manjushree for further proceedings. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for setting foundation on today's theme, role of conservation education. Before going to invite our speakers, now I would like to brief some general rules that everyone should follow. As I said initially, I request all participants to keep your microphone in mute and also switch off your camera except speakers. Speakers, you can keep your camera on. And for speakers, today we have three eminent speakers and each speaker will have 15 minutes time to share your thoughts and opinions on today's theme. And at the end of last minute, there will be a time call from me just to remind the left out time. So by saying this, I would like to invite our first international speaker, Dr. Ayla Devi Aljufre. She is the founder of World Women Leading Change, which is a forum with 3 million women across the globe. And she is also the founder of real estate company that is Ayla and Ayla Associates. Today she is there with us and she would enlighten us on bioarchitecture, where bio meets art and architecture. So with this background, I request Dr. Ayla ji to take over the session. Over to you, madam.
Manjushri, we have a presentation from Dr. Ayla. If you could present it on your screen, it will be wonderful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whether it is visible, sir?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Ayla Aljufri. I am from Indonesia, and I founded a company called Ayla Associate, also real estate and technology learning center and laboratorium, global property bank and technology center, and also women empowerment called World Women Leading Change. So one of my inclusiveness as I will talk about real estate in general, the kindness of real estate, where real estate is actually, the meaning is as a home. And today especially I will talk about bioarchitecture and technology. Is the science combination with architecture and putting technology together. So I will explain about the philosophy and principle. The inclusiveness that I acknowledge is actually the inclusiveness of real estate leading change, where there is a tranquility between a human and the space. So bioarchitecture, it can be defined as the art and the science of designing and building the spaces which create, support, and enhance the living system. It involves in creating the structure and spaces based on the energetic principle of the natural functions. When structure are designed from the realization of intrinsic energetic aspect of the exist throughout the nature, we will naturally enter into the generative symbolic relationship with our environment and revealing the ultimate purpose of the bioarchitecture. So there is a huge correlation between human and the living space of the human itself. This connects human to earth and human to land, or where the space they are living. The vision is to create physical structure, space, and environment that will act as the catalyst for the evolution of the human consciousness. In fact, in all the webinar that we conduct, we always stated that you have to be a very high conscious as human. It means you understand the energy and the balance of wellness that you attract as human, and also what you receive. And to serve this conscious, human are a very, very high spiritual. That's what differentiates us from other beings. And this spiritual, actually, it should give us a conscious of the self-sustaining communities, village or eco-village, and the activation of the center and the power spots of our planet. By doing this, we will connect the collective consciousness of humanity in acceleration for our evolution, acting as the catalyst of transmutation of our place in the biosphere, healing our relationship with Earth. Bioarchitecture and technology is also speak about a future world. This is the world where the world is a sacred place, where the place that we live in a dimension with a man, and the wellness of a man with the nature that exists in the harmonic symbiotic relationship. It is in the path with we will remember our origins and also our roots with nature and the cosmos. So in my world, bioenergetic biology is actually from biology, knowledge of biology. Energetic design create like a principle. So we combine the 5 elements of the earth to combine to design a living space with the fire, air, water, earth. So earth, air, water, fire, and aster is a comprehensive of direct approach to bioarchitectural design as a creative of the man environment. The 5 elements speaks about holistic approach to architectural design and the necessity of connection to these elements. This element is used to generate a set of design principles for the creation of harmonious and healthy architectural environment. This principle holds the key to creating an energetic symbiotic relationship with our natural ecosystem. Earth is the ground, geomancy, grounding, fractal, agriculture, water with the restructuring cycle, water features, biochemistry, and regenerative water design. Air quality, passive system of ventilation, system of integration, interior space, and informational fields. Fire, natural light, technology, coherent fractal with degeneration or EM pollution. and ether is the shape of the life force, sacred geometry, fractional design, and biogeometric translation. So I believe that wherever you live, it's actually giving you energy. So the key of biogenetic design and the earth frequency is earth frequency, material frequency, and the shape of the power. So as a human, if you are conscious, you could actually design a space for yourself or create, like what we're doing now, the webinar by Dr. Rupa and Dr. Bharat in World Forum for Education is actually to create consciousness together, to create frequency. Now the frequency and the resonance, earth harmonies, concord, and the set of frequency of the spectrum with inside the extreme low frequency in earth and electromagnetic. So earth have electromagnetic resonance that resonance back to us. That is also why when we are kind to people, we are giving people or animal or plant a space, it will affect the electromagnetic wave will come back to us. Again. So in the scientist Philip Callahan, he described how trees and forests is a perfect example with this type of electric antenna. So we're actually like an antenna, yes? The operating as low energy system and low frequency, which they're able to tap off the harmonic cascade in the fact determines the earth, the tree, and the health of the entire ecosystem. The challenge and the question here is how we can extend this, how we can extend this energy from forest and tree to include this energy in our building and our bodies. So this is, yes, this is why the Schumann frequency on Earth is fundamental for our biology, because without it, your body and biological function cannot operate in harmony and a balance, resulting in negative effect to the overall health of living things. In fact, this has been experienced by astronauts, and it's resolved by using device called Schumann frequency generator, which this requirement for humans to spend long period in time in space while separated from the Earth natural frequency like water, air, and food. These frequencies are essential to life. We can understand the crucial of the importance of Earth frequency 7.8 hertz in the DNA from the experiment of Luc Montagnier, where DNA is actually generated in water by using this Earth frequency. So this is like an example. I'm just giving you an example of the natural light. So if you design a house, you should use natural light to actually capture the fire element. This is the material. You know, your material that you use is also create energy. Like where the place that I am now, where I'm actually in the mountain, and mountain actually have a silica energy that produced by the tree to create fresh air. And this is the energy, negative and capacitor, negative and positive. Terus ya. So I will share the presentation. This is about a little bit about electromagnetic. Mundur lagi. So this is why when you design a building, you actually an antenna, you know, an antenna to all the energy that you cultivate as a person with your surrounding, you know. So that is why also is important, in fact, to create a good surrounding where people actually giving you good energy. Yes, also the surrounding. Turun lagi, Mbak. This is the shape of energy. Yeah? If you see in the ancient culture, it's they understand the principle of the subtle energy and their relationship to shape a form, and how specific space can create energy fields. The essence of, sebentar Mbak, masih yang tadi, the essence, so the essence of how geometric pattern can influence the subtle of energy is not a new concept. In the text of concept in modern age, the myriad of human-made antenna which cover planet Earth. This capitalize on the properties of geometric shapes which use a phenomenal resonance in order to transfer the signal. Professor Philip Callahan, sebentar Mbak Nadia, masih tadi turun lagi, naik lagi. Yes. Okay, Professor Philip Callahan also suggested that religious structure throughout the ancient world were finely tuned the electric of antenna which collected energy from the sun, the earth, and the cosmos, and then passed it into the meditator, religious practitioner, and the environment around this temple structure. You know, the temple structure in India, in Indonesia, in Bali, or in Burma, they have this structure. It's because of this. One such shape well known today is the pyramid structure. Many experiments that has been carried out demonstrating the effect on life of the most extensive studies was performed by Russian pyramid researchers Alexander Kalt, which is found that other influences are taking place in the presence of the pyramid energy field. Some of the roots, the most relevant being of the importance of improved regeneration of tissue, the increase of agricultural field, the improvement of the immune system of the biological organism, and also the mitigation of radioactivity. Also, physicists have proved and observed significant change that superconductively temperature. Essentially, we could simply argue that these effects are not exclusive to the pyramid energy, but they are the characteristic of effect of the shape and the geometry of proportion. So, are the evidence of this effect taking place in structure? Yes, they were demonstrated by Philip Callahan a half century ago. In his work as a radio engineer, he was experimenting measuring the field effect of living tree using the radio amplifier as a spectrum analyzer. To measure the frequency of the subtle electric fields of tree, he noticed that the earth frequency harmonics with the presence of tree only when they were healthy. Then he realized that effectively this could be used as means of the diagnosis of determining the health of the tree. Later on, he heard there is a village in the coast of England where people can live about 100 years. His intuition and knowledge let him go to the village and study the houses which these people were living. This culture were building their homes traditionally with earth and hemp fiber, using as well as their fishing practice. Then Callahan studied the same way he did with trees, the field type of this construction, and then he found that the electric field of these houses also contain in the earth frequency on the harmonic cascade. So I think we can replicate these studies today. Also to start with our mind, that is why also we need to always hear good frequency in our 5 pancha. Yes, we see good things, we hear good things, we touch good things, and this also helping our brain, actually the wave of the brain electrically to connect with the energy. So we can actually measure that people who lives in this particular good energy with the people who don't live in this surrounding. So this is some of the study, and this is some of our project. Turun lagi Nadia. We have the Sambala project, and you know, when you raise the children, yes, especially young children, you need to raise them in a proper manner where they're actually living and have enough air, good air, or also have enough water, silica energy. So they can create, this energy can create a better receptive on knowledge. They also can, I cannot say smarter, but the receptive of the design thinking, the receptive of the mind, creative mind, it's helping them, you know. So they could be like, we have like a training, we have trained, I have a friend in Indonesia, we train children from relatively from a very low IQ, and we train them, we put them in like a very good surrounding where they go to like a retreat center and they can win the physics Olympics. So we have to be high conscious with this particular thing of connectivity between human and the space and the surrounding. This is our project we have in Sierra Leone in Africa. We also have Peru, in Peru. Yes, this is like, you know, a project that we create to, you know, it's actually a mandala project where we take the fire, the sun as our center. And we have also in Costa Rica. So because my background is in real estate consulting and also development, so real estate leading change is our inclusiveness to educate people, understanding about all of this that can create a balance in their life with the earth. I also last year, when I visit Dr. Rupa and Dr. Bharat in the World Forum for Education, I was looking at some field in Paxi, Bangalore, where we wanted to create this learning center for children. Turun lagi, Mbak. So this is the type of projects that we are at the moment looking at. Yes, the art-tech, bio-art-tech. Turun lagi. So we use bamboo, and it's already how you call it. We use the bamboo with the partification system, and this bamboo is like the most well-known eco-material system in the construction industry. And this tarik lagi Mbak mau ke atas lagi Mbak. So this is a fabrication already, so you can just put it. The concept is combining the structure. Bentar Mbak, saya lagi baca, Mbak Nadia. Can I go back? The slide before, yes. So this concept is about combining the strongest and fastest growing building material to exist in the planet. So it's a plan. We put it in the next the project as also our project, so we can plant it. Yeah. Turun lagi. So it's important when you build, you use a sustainable material. This is our project in Lapaksi where we're planning to develop it, but it's called Peacock Village.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. Only 1 minute left.
Okay, so turun lagi, Nadia. Yes, so this is Peacock Village. We'll just go through it very quickly. Turun lagi. Turun lagi, turun lagi, turun lagi, turun lagi. So it's combining this rural residential sanctuary, eco living, yes. Turun lagi. We create the community, you know, a good community there. Turun lagi, people who are and we also cultivating the food forest. You plant everything there, you know, a very small food forest, like just simple eating vegetable or fruits. Turun lagi, turun lagi, turun lagi. And this is the green energy using solar, wind power. Terus lagi, turun lagi. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much, World Forum for Education, especially Dr. Rupa and Dr. Bharat, to give me an opportunity to speak about this earth. Good afternoon and thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation on bioarchitecture. As you said, bioarchitecture speaks about the future world. It is a path in which we will remember our path. And you also highlighted the 5 elements of bioarchitecture, that is earth, water, air, fire, ether, that creates harmonious and healthy architecture environment. And you also inspired us by taking an example of so many bioarchitect projects like Shambhala, New Earth Village, and with the wonderful images. That was so good and inspiring, ma'am. Thank you once again for your wonderful presentation. With this note, now I would like to move on to our next speaker, Dr. A.N. Ellappa Reddy, sir. He's a retired IFS officer, and it is happy to say that he is a graduate in agriculture science and a postgraduate in soil science. He has served as administrator of forest for 20 years. He was also in the research wing of the forestry services for 10 years and has held the post of chief conservator of forest. He retired as secretary of Department of Ecology and Environment, Karnataka. Dr. Reddy has written a book titled Sacred Plants. Presently, Dr. Reddy is the governing council member of Foundation for Ecological Security of India. He is also a member of Karnataka High Court Lok Adalat, as well as the chief advisor of Bangalore University Biodiversity Park. He is a recipient of Indira Priyadarshini Award for his achievements in the field of forestry. We are very fortunate to have you, sir, in this online platform. With this background, I request you to address the session. Over to you, sir.
Namaste. Thank you very much. So far, we have seen an excellent presentation by a well-known scientist, and she has got a connection to Bangalore. It's a very good thing. So far as I am concerned, so far, no science or words that capture the sense of loss that climate change brings with it. From last, say, about 5-6 decades, the climate change has really made a havoc in tampering the ecosystems of the world, including Indonesia, India, especially the equatorial belt, where evergreen and semi-evergreen forest plays a very important role, including Amazon forest. So my concern is the sensitivity of the Mother Earth. She very rightly pointed out when you visit the forest a virgin forest, you can feel that pulse of what do you call the bioenergy of the five-tier natural ecosystem and a two-tier root biomass below the ground, and with all the lianas in the canopy, in the trunk, and the rainwater. So all these things are something very something which is very difficult to explain. That's the reason why our sages and saints is to spend their time only in their ashramas, that is in the middle of the forest. So our culture is started, Indian culture is started from the forest. That our civilization started from the forest. So unfortunately, the Western culture is quite different from our culture. Our civilization started from the Aranya. That's why we worship Mother Earth. We worship Mother Earth in 1,000 formats. So each format has got a specific thing, and that format is something of that local, what they call it, the sthala. Sthala means the local biodiversity, local soil, local climate, weather, rainfall, together forms some sort of a what do you call the bioregionalism to generate that energy. So my experience as a forester, I spent quite a lot of time in the about more than 20 years in the Western Ghats Sahyadri Hills. Now, if you look at the Sahyadri Hills, the entire peninsula of India depends upon the soil, the biodiversity, natural biodiversity, where all our rivers takes their origin. And the soil, the virgin soil. The virgin soil means it's a living soil. So that ecosystem from I joined around 1962. I spent more than 20 years in the center part of the Western Ghats, that is Karnataka belt. That is from Belgaum to up to Mysore district. So this stretch of biodiversity and the Western Ghats receives more than 3,000 to 4,000 up to 10,000 millimeters rainfall in short span of about 100 days or 100 days maximum. The torrential rain, we should have a mechanism to capture. That is the reason why all our ancestors built some sort of a temple. For instance, Shankaracharya has built Sharda Pita in Tungabhadra on the bank of Tungabhadra river. He spent quite a lot of time in Kurchadri temple, Kurchadri hills. Even today, that Shankar Pita is still there, and where he his words of Saundarya Lahari, which is composed while sitting in the heart of the Western Ghats, that is in Kurchadri temple, or Kurchadri hills, not a temple. There he writes the commentary of Saundarya Lahari. Meaning of Saundarya Lahari is the nature is beautiful. There, he has explained most of the things what the previous scientist has explained about the nature is something wonderful, and it cannot be substituted. But unfortunately, in the name of the development today, our Western Ghats is under great threat, displacement, disfiguration of the Western Ghats. The result is today's what you call the flats, and you can see how the Mother Earth flesh has been peeled off. Blood red water flows in the entire stretch of the Western Ghats, starting from Gujarat to Maharashtra to Karnataka to Andhra Pradesh, Godavari, Krishna, all the rivers now filled with silt. How much of Mother Earth flesh has been traversed and deposited in the ocean or in all our dams which we have built have been now the storage capacity is reduced dramatically, and now we have to lift all our floodgates, and with the result, the people in the downstream has to pay very what do you call it, very dearly, losing their property, their crops, their livelihood, their kith and kin, etc. Then coming to the other part of Panchabhutas and Panchavalkalas. So what Madam has said about this Panchabhutas, all these 5 elements, and the Pancha Indriyas in the human system, there is a direct connection. That's the reason why our ancestors has built up Panchavatis. Panchavatis means 5 keystone species in a Panchavati. That is, they will create a bioenergy with Panchavati, where the sages and saints used to teach their disciples under this beautiful ecosystem that is called Bruhat Panchavati. Bruhat Panchavati means a composition of the Bilva, that is eagle marvelous, then Philanthus, Saraka indica, Ficus bengalensis, Ficus religiosa. These 5 trees. So each one, the eagle marvelous will play a great role in detox of the human body. Then Philanthus will play a very important role in improving your health. It is one of the richest fruit found in the forest ecosystem. Then coming to the Saraka indica is one of the best stress, what you call the stress buster, Saraka, Ashoka, or Saraka indica. So then coming to the Ficus bengalensis and Ficus religiosa, they can take care of your brain, and they can remove all the garbage from the brain. And so Buddha and various other people got enlightened under this tree. So similarly, Panchavalkala. Panchavalkala is also in the Ayurveda. Panchavati also it is there in the Ayurveda textbooks. So Panchavalkala is something, which, as she said, the Panchavalkala, the 5 trees in the composition, all are belong to the one family of the Ficus family. So this Valkala means the skin of that will take care of the child in the womb of the mother earth, in the womb of the mother, and also prenatal and postnatal care. There's a beautiful explanation in Ayurveda textbooks. Similarly, and Ruksha Ayurveda is another textbook which connects the how to develop an ecoscience, how to develop an ecoscience of altering the system with appropriate recipes. So Ruksha Ayurveda is another textbook, and then Ayurveda is another textbook. So what I attempted in Gyanabhakti campus, so we built a beautiful landscape of the Charakavana. Charaka is a physician in Ayurveda, where he classified about 50 systems, what they call it, the 50 systems. Each 50 system about the shortlisted about the cardiac system, nervous system, digestive system, and like that. But each system is shortlisted about 10 plants. Those 10 plants will take care of that system. So circulatory system, respiratory system, reproductive system, like that. That is called ganas. 50 ganas. Each gana means a set of plants will be put in one compartment, and that one compartment, they will supplement each other, help each other, contribute each other, and build some sort of a remedial system to take care of that particular system. So that that Charakavana, it is about nearly 10 to 12 years old now. So where we conduct the echo therapy for the special children from last 6 years. When we took the children to the Charakavana, and we will explain to them about the Panchavati, about the Gana, that these 10 plants will take care of your heart, these 10 plants will take care of your brain and improve your memory power and circulatory reproductive system, just like that. So surprisingly, when the biochemistry and the department of the St. John's College with Dr. Venkatesh brought a set of postgraduate students to understand what type of elements are found in the Mother Earth, which will influence the particular organ of the human body, that is cardiac system and the digestive system and reproductive system. Then that instrument which he brought can instantly find out what elements are found in that composition. So when we have taken a gram of a soil, analyzed, surprisingly, it's altogether different. The nickel, cobalt, molybdenum, selenium, strontium, all these chemicals are distinct in one composition. Next plot is very close, within about, say about 10 to 15 feet. There we analyze in a different composition. The elements altogether different. So from how the plants were able to assimilate those elements, and they will include in their body parts, that is the skin and the hardwood and the leaf and the fruit, etc., and the volatile oils and the active principles in that particular plants. That group of plants, it's cumulatively together, they play a role in enriching that one gana, that one system. So when we explain to the special children, they were able to understand and appreciate. We found a tremendous change among them in the Charkavana from last 6 years. We have documented that, and the document is called ecotherapy, and that is one thing. And similarly, when I conducted, I had an opportunity to undertake a study and to rejuvenate 200 acres of Agastya International Landscape. The Andhra Pradesh government has given about 200 acres of the land, the most degraded land, very adjacent to the Kolar goldfield, where Kolar goldfield, where they have completely mined all the gold, and only the dumps are there. That is these cyanide dumps, and the debris are there, mountains after mountains, and the entire area was de-skinned. But fortunately, when I visited that landscape, the pH value was so wonderful. It is between 6.5 to 7. Then I promised the opponents of that project that can be rejuvenated. So within another about 6 to 7 years, now today, we have got a beautiful forest there, and most of them are native species. I supplemented and enriched that entire degraded landscape, which was so sickly and diseased. The entire landscape was sick, so sickly and diseased. And when I took charge, I was able to divide the entire area into several components, where I nearly 2 acre plot of Panchaval Kala, that is 5 ficus species. It is Ficus bengalensis, Ficus religiosa, Ficus vicumosa, Ficus invictoria, Ficus mysorensis. These are the 5 Panchaval Kalas, and now there are well grown up trees. And that, when a pregnant woman go there and walk around and inhale that breathe, that enrich the air of this 5 keystone species. Similarly, Panchavati I have also built very close by, so that the school children who are coming to the Agastya International from all over India, children go there and they go around all these things. Then I also built another, the 5 prodigies. There are 5 prodigies who are Balava, that's called Balavanas. Bala means the children, that is Dhruva, Prahalada, and Nachiketa. These 3 prodigies have challenged their parents, challenged even Emma, and also Dhruva had gone to the forest at the age of 5, and he was able to see the grand vision of Mahavishnu. That's the story. So that what I did, in the 10 acres, I created a Balavana for selected few plants which have been recommended by the Arvindo Ghosh and mother, they have given a spiritual name for each plant, which is each plant has got a signature of the god, and where they were able to draw the essential material from the Mother Earth. And that's sort of a 800 species for 800 flowering plants. Arvindo and mother has given a spiritual definition. I just understood the spiritual definition. Similarly, my guru, S.K. Ramchandra Rao, has written 18 volumes of Rigveda. In the Rigveda, he has written about 18 volumes. So out of 18 volumes, there are 32,000 stanzas, but he was able to complete only 18 volumes. What he told me is that one has to write about 32 volumes to cover the entire Rigveda. So in the Rigveda concept, he is clearly mentioned more than 30 to 40% of the Rigveda speaks only about the Mother Earth, the nature, and the Panchabhutas and the Pancha Indriyas. How? And among them, Gayatri mantra is a very famous mantra. There, I built a beautiful Gayatri Vana, and the Gayatri Vana with the different colors of plumerias. That's called plumerias. Fortunately, got all the colors of the plumerias. I built a beautiful Vana of Gayatri. Similarly, I also formed another plant of what do you call the all wild fruits. Shabari, everybody have heard. Shabari lived in Matangavana, and she fed the god Rama. Matanga Maharishi, while living his ashrama, he entrusted the responsibility and informs the Shabari, Lord Ram, Mahavishnu comes in the form of the Lord Rama. When he visits our ashrama, you must feed him. That lady is able to understand and feel the pulse of the Matanga Vana, the forest ecosystem. And she has developed a language to talk to each and every fruit and every plant, the soil and everything, and then tasted every fruit and waited for Rama. And Rama, when he arrives, she feeds Jijibas fruit. And she tastes that one, whether it is really delicious or not. When she feeds that one, Lakshmana objects, but Rama takes it. And she got a final moksha, Maha-moksha, the old lady, which she requested Rama. So that all these things clearly indicate how Shabari was able to feel the Mother Earth and connecting the Mahavishnu and also the Gayatri Vana. So thousands of children visit that Agastya International Area very close to KGF, that is in the Chittoor district. And the trustees has done a very good job. But there, when I took a decision not to disturb any natural ecosystem, I started looking Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats because I had a fairly good knowledge of the Western Ghats. And Eastern Ghat knowledge, I had a limited knowledge. But when I visited this place, I never expected that Western Ghat is so rich in the biodiversity, so rich of the soil. So there I have seen that within a span of about 2-3 years, the excellent vegetation of the Pterocarpus centillaris, that is Rakta Chandana, and the sandalwood, and more than about nearly 500 varieties of the indigenous species came from where I do not know. Only thing is, what I have done is, I adopted the technology of conserving every drop of water and soil. Erosion has been completely stopped by putting appropriate contour trenches, which I have done in the Western Ghats, in thousands of acres in the outer Western Ghats, where I rejuvenated the most degraded areas where a number of people have seen. Then coming to this point of when I took the same students to find out in the Siddhavana. Agastya is a person who launched a system called Siddha system of medicine in Tamil Nadu. It was an excellent system where the minerals and the soil plants will assimilate certain rare chemicals, rare elements like selenium, strontium, uh, uh, chromium, nickel, cobalt, zinc. All these elements in small quantity will play a very important role in maintaining the human health. And similarly, this quantity of this different elements in the soil in the particular locality will play a great role in maintaining the ecosystem health. So my observations there was found to be amazing. Even students have documented that. The document is available in this St. John's College. Mayapal University postgraduate student, biochemistry students have taken soil samples. The soil is something which we cannot substitute today because of our what do you call it, greed or whatever you call it. The entire mining activities, the government policies is to mine the coal, mine this, mine that, mine. As an environment secretary, I have seen that they protested, but still mining activity is increased and taken and caused the entire Western Ghat. And today, whatever we are seeing is because of the man-made blunders, inexcusable blunders. And even today, the government thinks it is economic prosperity comes by doing exploiting all the natural resources, exploiting the trees, and creating monoculture, these things. So as a soil scientist, I did my post-graduation about 1 year in Coimbatore College, where I had an opportunity to look into Janaki Ammar's ethnobotany. Just I glanced at, and now I'm trying to revive and recreate that ethnobotany of Janaki Ammar, who spent all her time at the back end of our life. Now I also connected now as a chairman of the Bengaluru Environment Trust. I connected with 3 great living souls. One is the Tulsi, Alaki tribal lady. When I was a conservator of forest, I have seen that lady, a daily wage worker, our understanding of the Mother Earth, our understanding of
Sir,
1 minute.
sorry to interrupt you, sir. You have another 2 minutes.
Okay, I will complete. So, its reproductive ability, and she used to sow the seed. And the way she was sowing, etc., was found to be extremely good. When the government of India has awarded, given me an award of the award, I refused to take. I recommended her name. She got the Indra Priyadashini Award, and in 2019 she got Padma Shri Award also. Another great lady I have identified is Putirama. Putirama is a master in agricultural science. She was able to sow seeds so meticulously in a about more than 10 species together in a polyculture model, and she could feel and she knows everything about where to preserve the seed, how to preserve the seed, etc. So these are the real personalities who developed intimacy with the Mother Earth. They can read the language, a distinct language. Another fellow now I'm using this one Ramegoda, a Soliga tribal. He can collect seeds, he can treat the seeds, and now I got about more than 20 lakh seedlings of different species, about 500 varieties, which I am going to establish a biopark in IISc campus at Chedikere. And the IISc scientists have given that responsibility to me. That means the Ramegoda or Putirama or the Tulsi are the real scientists who can understand the Mother Earth, who can feel the pulse of the Mother Earth, who can integrate life there. That sort of a science is essential. So Mother Earth is full of life, and we should be careful enough, and we should not damage. And now kg of mining of Ballari, mining of wherever it is, how it has completely destroyed, how we are facing all these things. Excellent opportunity for me to listen to the previous speaker about her method of adopting that. So my experience now, the ecotherapy children, mentally retarded children, about 200 children, have recovered and they are now they're able to earn their own living, some of them, but not all. So all these things will clearly tell that Mother Earth can give everything what we want. The idea is don't wound her, don't peel her skin, don't peel her flesh, don't make her to bleed. That is what we are doing. Is it correct? Is there a respect for the Mother Earth? Are we not believing this world as a hell? Are we not heading for some sort of an extinction as predicted by so many scientists? So thank you very much for giving this opportunity. So thank you, Oma, for namaste.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your insightful talk. Nowadays, in the name of development, as you said, we are destroying the forest, we are destroying our nature. You explained about Panchavati, Panchavalkala, which was not known to many of us. And as you said, Indian culture starts from forest, and we should worship our motherland, and we should stop exploiting the natural resources. And day by day we are forgetting the importance of medicinal value of trees and plants, and we should not forget that, and we should worship our nature and also the forest. Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening us with your wonderful experience. Thank you so much, sir. With this note, I will move on to the next speaker, Dr. K.K. Subramani, sir. He is also an agriculture graduate and also a Sanskrit scholar. Presently, he is a founder Acharya of Kaveri Kanya Gurukulam, which is a public charitable trust inaugurated and blessed by late Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji. He is also a recipient of so many awards, namely Harvest of Hope Award by Government of India, Rajyotsava Award by Mandya District, and title him as Yoga Star by Yoga Bharati Institution in recognition of his service towards girl child education. With this background, I would like to call upon Dr. K.K. Subramani, sir, to address the gathering on today's theme.
Namaskaram. Good afternoon to everybody. And especially, I'm thankful to Dr. Rupa Madam, Dr. Varaji, Dr. Maheshwar, Dr. Yellappa sir. I know them all, and it is a very good occasion to be here and see them after several years. The topic, the environment and its essence, importance, but today's, from the point of view of today's usage, how it is not being used properly, rather being abused. So connecting to this, being an agriculture graduate, also well versed, I can say, in some of the texts, what we are handing over to the next generation, the potential mothers in our Gurukulam called Kaveri Kanya Gurukulam. I am very happy to share some of the facts from the science and also from the spiritual texts. Environment belongs to everything that is living or non-living. For nature, all organisms are, we know that they are equal. No organism is greater or no organism is inferior. Maybe each one is different, but no one is superior from the point of view of the nature. And nature also supports our luxuries. This is where we went wrong. This is how we got into pollution. So there is a cost, some damage, and there is to get some benefits. Throw a seed into the seed into the soil. We damage the soil to some extent. We expose the soil. Microorganisms are disturbed. So that microclimate ecosystem is disturbed. But later we get fruits from that plant. To get the fruits, there is some default. There is not expect any fruits at all. But nature is very, very rebounding, forgiving. It can absorb lots of pains, damages, because it can repair by itself if it is given time. This is where we have failed to understand the nature. It can repair by itself if it is given a proper time, that minimum damage. But the problem is when the damage is too big, it becomes irreversible. Nature cannot even repair itself. Here is environmental degradation. This nature now becomes sick. This is the situation today. This we have failed to understand the nature. And this damages caused to nature is in one way is a reflection of our own internal damage, the person who is damaged. If we are hurt inside, we see the hurt outside. We would like to hurt outside. In Sanskrit, there is a saying, Yatha Pinda Tatha Brahmanda. This body, this my mindset, my attitude, my thinking is the mirror, what I see outside. So as I go inside and the way that I plan, think, is what I want to execute outside. So this is actually the global warming, the another aspect. Alter the wind pattern, cloud formation, rainfall pattern, all these things, they are interlinked. So who is responsible for the climate change? Those who have emitted more carbon dioxide, those who have achieved more growth, more development, more economy. The rich caused, we can say, the climate change. The poor is suffering. For the rich, global warming may mean adjusting some gadgets in their AC room. But what about the poor? The rich can escape from the floods because they have got very big hotels, houses in the mountain top. For the poor who lives on the flood and the coastal belt, what about him? The rich has enough economy. He can buy foodstuff online. But what about the poor, who is an agriculturist, who is living next to the river? The nature will not, but we should know that nature will not leave us anyone because it is a common asset. Environment, nature, it cannot discriminate between the rich and the poor. There is no environmental justice. But going by our ancient philosophy, we should not forget the law, one law. There are so many laws. As you sow, S-O-W, as we sow, so you reap in the future. This we cannot escape, whether I'm a rich or I'm a poor. But unfortunately, we are so greedy that we forget even such basic laws. Because we forget the law, L-A-W, we don't see the loss, L-O-S-S. We just look at the profits. We don't see the innumerable loss. The short-sighted, immediately what we get the profit, we forget the LOSS by not following the LAW laws. Everybody wants energy. Today, I want to focus this topic as I want to present the facts and some of the problems and how can we address the issue as some solutions. The category. I'm in the facts. What are the facts today? What is the problem next? And what should be the solution? Because we are addressing the students. We are in the midst of the chaos. All the students, educated ones, those who want to know, those who want to take care of the future. Because environment belongs to whom? For the past, for the present, for the future. It doesn't belong to anybody. It is for everybody. So what we all looking at is, when we say all, in fact, I mean most of the developing countries. We want energy. We want the productivity. How do we get it? Through boosting up the economy. But when we boost up the economy, we forget what will be the side effect. There we go with, we forget the three things involved. Because teach this to the students. There are three E's, capital E, 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 E. We need energy. We want resources. We want to develop. This energy should be used to boost up the E, another E, economy. This is, even you can put it into GDP. Everybody is interested to improve gross domestic product. How do we improve the GDP? We want the energy. We want the resource. But when we get into this boosting of the resource energy, we forget the quantum of the emissions, the third E. Energy we want to boost up the economy at the cost of emission, E. This 3E is a vicious cycle, inevitable cycle. But the question here is, we want the economic benefit at the cost of environmental, the nature. The question is, we want to go up, develop at the cost of environmental. So here lies the wisdom. This is what Dr. Yellapreddy also quoted so much on our scriptures, so much on Ayurveda, so much on Vedas. This particular part, the basic common sense, is not at all understood. This is minimum should be the environmental damage. Maximum should be the economic benefit. How to achieve it? This is the billion-dollar question. How to de-link these two things? We want the economy, we want the resources, we want the money, we want the development with the least environmental damage. This is where we have to de-link the growth and no damage, less damage. But now it is linked. More you grow, more you put the economy up, damage is also more. They are linked. The question, the wisdom, the study, the education is to de-link. I want to grow, not at the cost of the environment. How to de-link this? How many countries are thinking on this? This 3 is the real, actually, I say, called real education. If at all we want to educate, because we have to educate on this aspect of the global warming or climate change or the damage of the present future, all is with the linked, the development along with the environmental damages. How to de-link? Now, same thing with the carbon dioxide. We want to reduce the damage, but we want to get the more income. How do we achieve this? This is what actually both developed and developing countries will continue to use more energy, and by using what? All our fossil resources. Fossil resources is 85%. Whether it is America or Middle East or any developed country, China, what they are using? Economy is boosting. Everybody is developed country or developing country. At the cost of what? Burning the fossils. Burning the fossils is what? Releasing the carbon dioxide. And whether you do it here or on your behalf, you do it in China. On your behalf, now start in India. On your behalf, use Asia, but ultimately it is releasing the CO2 into environment. So this is where, so there are so many treaties, even Paris Agreement, we know. So Dr. Elappa must also be available on these issues. Ultimately for what? It is all for my benefit. At the cost of release of carbon dioxide. 85% of the energy is all coming from one thing, fossils. And we say of alternate source, alternate energy, solar energy, wind energy, less than 1%. It is less than 1%. 85% is the burning and emitting the carbon dioxide. That means what should be the key punchline is carbon-free economy. I want to grow, but it should be as less as carbon-free. Then what is the way? What is the approach? One way of thinking is the solution part. We have to understand entire universe is made out of 5 elements, which are discussed by, informed by Ella, Miss Ella from Indonesia, of course, Dr. Ella Predi too. And we know that the universe is nothing but the manifestation of the 5 elements. Even one element is not independent of one element. One element too is a combination of 5 elements. When we talk of space, 5 elements put together is space, but majority is space. It's called as space. When we talk of air is also a combination of 5 elements, but majority shareholding is of the air. Therefore, it is called as predominantly air. Same thing with Agni, same thing with Jala, same thing with Prithvi. It's all the elements. From these elements, this elemental universe has come out. Everything is interlinked. The space is no way different from the air. Air is not no way different from the fire. It's all intertwined. And we are all elementals. Elements brought out the elementals, and we are all the products, the effect of the elements. That means we are very well interacted. We are all intertwined. Our body is what? Made up of 5 elements. Well, the entire universe is what? Made up of 5 elements. Our body, I, the conscious being, I host living and non-living things. My hairs, non-living. My nails, non-living. My cells, living. I am the master of both living and non-living. It's a story of my body. Think of the entire universe. Non-living and living presupposes a living being. We forget this concept. We don't understand what is universe. We don't understand what is our body, what is our makeup, what are the constituents, how they are one. They cannot be separated. When we say this universe, what is universe? Water. What is universe? I. What is universe? You. What is universe? Sun. What is universe? Moon. What is this? Oxygen, carbon dioxide. Everything is given. Everything is given. Tamarind tree, given. I have not created. Papaya, given. Ragi, I have not created. Given. Rice, given. Mind, given. Heart, given. Eyes are given. Everything given is very, very intelligently put together. Very intelligently put together. Eyes, given. Intelligently put together. When we say intelligently put together, there must be a presupposing factor called intelligence. Behind every given thing, living or non-living, intelligently put together, and intelligently put together presupposes intelligence. Intelligence cannot rest in the non-living. Intelligence rests in a living being. That means entire universe presupposes an intelligent being. The entire universe. Because everything is given. There must be a giver. Without giver, there cannot be given. Between giver and given, intelligence.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yeah.
1 minute left, sir.
Yeah, I'll conclude. So this fact of everything is given, which is intelligently put together, presupposes intelligence. Intelligence has to rest in a being. That means whole universe is the manifestation of an intelligence, knowledge. and we are all interconnected. Not knowing this, we damage one thing. That means we are damaging the other thing. So that means we think by doing something wrong here, nothing happens total. Whether something goes wrong in America, it will affect the whole universe. In India, affect the whole universe, because we are talking of the whole one. We forgot this. When you go to hospital, we just go and tell little finger is damaged. And you treated the little finger. She will not accept. Little finger belongs to me. It is me. So the damage is caused to me. I am not different from the little finger. That means every organ is me. Whole universe is one. Once we understand this, then how can you damage the whole? I am part parcel of whole, living or not living. I strongly see this fact education, reality education given to the students as per our scriptures, which goes with the common sense, with the proper examples, sense of possibility, how we are damaging. If this is the way, then this is the only way to educate and bring the awareness of environment is no way different from us. We are the part and parcel of this environment. Thank you very much. It was a good occasion to share some of the knowledge based.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful talk. You made us to realize that if we harm the nature, in turn, definitely nature will harm us. And rightly said that nature will not leave anyone, whether we are rich, whether we are poor, nature will not leave anyone. And nowadays, we are in the path of developing the country with more exploitation of our natural resources, but we should be in a path of developing the country with least exploitation of our natural resources. And at this time, I would like to remember a quote which is related to environment, that is, earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greeds. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for enlightening us with your wonderful thoughts and views on today's session. Now we are at the end of today's session. Before that, now I request our Associate Dean of College of Agriculture Science and Applied Research, Best Innovation University, Dr. Mallikarjun sir, to deliver his conclusory remark of today's session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Manjushri. Good evening, all, and it's my pleasure to make a conclusive remark of the Conservation Agriculture webinar Part 2 series. The session has been started with the introductory remarks given by the Honorable Chairman, Dr. Bharatlal Meena, a former Additional Secretary, Government of Karnataka, and a Chairman of Best Innovation University and Chairperson of WFE. In his introductory note, the sir has been enlightened the session, saying that the vision, strategy, and responsibility regarding a conservation of biodiversity, conservation of soil, and conservation of ecosystem. And the sir has been set a good foundation for the panelists to discuss or to take up the issue at a higher level. And you have been started with a discussions. Here we have been a good panelist hailed from the different sectors. The panel has been started with a Halia Al-Jufre, a founder of, chairperson of World Women Leading Chain and founder of Halia Association. She has explained about the importance of bioarchitecture and technology regarding bringing the harmony among the living entities who are living in the environment. In her speech, she said that the application of science and technology regarding boosting the energy, designing the thinking, and she also explained the importance of 5 elements regarding the conservation of regarding the enrichment of a knowledge, creation of thinking, and making the reaching the intellectual property of a students. She has expressed his views regarding setup of our project in the Bengaluru, making a benefit to the special able students of Karnataka. And in her speech, she said that how the person who grown up in a positive environment can spread a positive energy around the society. And she also said that the person who lived in the negative environment, they can also create the negative. She said that the energy which is creating either in temple or in the mind of a people, that would be a very critical regarding making the all the living species to alive wealthfully in the environment. Followed by our speech, the another known environmentalist and from the agricultural graduates, the Dr. A.N. Yellappa Reddy, former bureaucrats of forestry, government of Karnataka. The sir has been explained in his speech regarding importance of Veda, and sir is explained about a conservation of climate, conservation of soil, conservation of biodiversity, and sir explained about a beauty of a nature and the spiritual energy which is created under the temple, how it will be boosting the spiritual energy among the peoples and other living beings. See about, he told about, he enlightened the students regarding a connection of Pancha Indra and Pancha Bhuta. Earlier speaker has been explained about Pancha Bhuta, and sir has been elaborated regarding a connection of Pancha Bhuta and Pancha Indra. And sir is also enlightened at this session regarding application of ecotherapy and ethnobotany. And the most interesting and important one is regarding importance of Panchavatika and Sarka Indra. Really, we are very glad to hear you, sir, because you have been in the modern generation, and the many students who are studying in the university, they were not aware about regarding the importance of Veda and Indras. And your speech really bring a energy regarding the knowledge and the application of a medicinal, or you can say importance of medicinal plants, application of plants for the well-beings of human beings in the earth. The sir has been shared his experience regarding Panchavatika, regarding importance of 5 plants belongs to the family of ficus, and the sir said that, and the sir is also explained about a Charkavana. And most important thing is that he has explained a strategy, his strategy to create a degradable land of KZF into the natural beauty land. And followed by sir's speech, another eminent scientist, again hailed from the agricultural sector and currently serving in the Samskrita University, that is Dr. K.K. Subramani. And sir is explained about importance and essentiality of conservation of environment. In this, the sir has explained about the importance of 3 E's, that is energy, economy, and emission of carbon dioxide. Sir given a punchline of creating the energy to boost the economy at the cost of emission of a carbon dioxide. And sir is stressed regarding a delinking of economy at the cost of environmental degradation. The sir is clearly mentioned that the property of earth is not belongs to the anyone. It is a belongings of a past, present, and future. Therefore, nobody in the world does not have any rights to damage the earth. And sir is again stressed upon a 5 Indiras, 5 Panchabhutas, the role of 5 Panchabhuta regarding a conservation of environment. The students who are presented here really been benefited from the experience shared by the speakers. On behalf of Bharatiya Engineering, Science and Technology Innovation University, on behalf of Honorable Chancellor Dr. Rupa Vasudevan, on behalf of Honorable Chairman Sri Bharatlal Meena, Honorable Vice Chancellor Maheshwar, Dr. D.L. Maheshwar, Honorable Advisor Dr. Manmohan Singh, and all my beloved colleagues, and on behalf of students, on personally, I am very thankful to all the speakers who presented their valuable experience in the session. Really very thankful, sir. Thank you to Manjushri.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful conclusory remarks. With this, we end our today's part 2 at series session. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone, for your kind participation and patience and cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.